Could you give us an example of something that would have value?
Well, in that quote I was talking about investing versus just working a regular job, because there's so many people who invest and they're all have the idea that when I invest I have to gain. And they have this idea because the money's inflating, so technically you do have to gain in dollar terms. But to have a true gain when you invest, then you're basically gambling. You expect that you're going to outsmart other investors and gain back more than what you put in. But as far as something that has value, anytime you produce goods or services that people are willing to pay for, then that's something with real value.
Great. All right. Always thoroughly research prices rather than rely on biased advice of any broker. Please give us your views on the subject of real estate and using a broker.
Yeah, I think unfortunately a lot of people who aren't familiar with investing and saving, they trust their brokers without realizing that there's generally a conflict of interest there. The broker's interest is to have high turnover, generate commissions, whereas the investor or buyer's interest is to get the best price. So with real estate, for example, one of the most common types of brokers, the real estate broker's interest is to have the house listed at a relatively low price and sell it quickly and generate a commission and then move on to the next sale. Whereas if you're selling a house, you want to have the house listed at the highest possible price, and when you're buying the house, you want to buy the house at a low price. So it's really up to the seller and buyer to research prices on their own, because if they rely on the broker's going to tell the seller, well, you need to lower the listing price, and the broker's going to tell the buyer, just go ahead and buy it at that price, that's a good price. It's really always up to the buyer and seller to research prices on their own.
Good advice.